Welcome back. For those of you who took a break from the pretty exciting match earlier that happened at noon Eastern, back on SG, here we are for the 2 p.m. race, another co-op 80 KDB match. Promised to be a very, very exciting match. We have quite the champion set. Matchup for game 1 of the series between Usedbow and Roomies. Usedbow being represented by Telethar and Gem, and we actually have the third member of the team, Structural Mike, on the mic with us today. Hello, Mike. How's it going?
Hi, Clearmouse. Thank you.
How's it going?
As usual. Clearmouse, the fourth member of the team, is here to be my co-commentator.
Yes, I'm actually quite privileged to be honored in order to be able to share the comm booth with you here today.
The honor is mine, and let's not forget about Artie Walsh and Plasma being the recipients of help.
That's right. That's right. In fact, even before Plasma Kappa said hello in the race room, he said send help, which I believe by now is his trademark at this point. Even when he has a race room comment, I always still hover over it, and then whenever I read send help, it's like, what was I expecting? I don't know why I waited all this time just to go see this comment. I should have known. I believe, in my defense, that there was actually one race where I think where he won, like he won the whole pod, and then his comment was help received. So you could still be surprised.
Exactly.
Here we go. We have started. Looks like we're gonna get some similar starting points between Telethar and Plasma Kappa in the opposite corners of the screen, doing a sync start, and Artie Walsh and Gem going over, starting at Link's house, and then heading over to the east side of Light World. I've already missed what was on Lake Hylia Island.
Same. Yeah, that's not scouted. That's a waste of time, for sure.
Exactly.
But this is like I think everyone does this opening more or less. You split up by Saha and Lost Woods, and I think everyone is going into Eastern, or
Probably.
Have you seen differently?
No, eventually we all bottleneck into Eastern because there's just always progression, it seems like, in this mode. The last match, I believe, that was on this channel, there was a flute in Eastern Compass Chest, there was the mushroom in Eastern Big Chest, and the mushroom led to the pearl. So, I mean, all roads lead to Eastern.
Ah,
so
there we go.
Mm-hmm.
And Team Right has scouted Lumberjack, which has nothing. Worth noting for all of this is probably mentioned a couple of times, but I'm gonna say something you were not expecting, I think, or what did I miss?
Oh no! I was just thinking about you saying something about scouting Lumberjack. I believe that is something that Gem and Telethar do not choose to do.
Oh no, we don't scout in this mode.
Exactly.
But in 80 KDB, in contrast to key sanity, like normal 80 keys, maps and compasses do nothing for logic because we are on a different random branch.
True, but that's actually a very good point. I don't know if this could be observation bias. It could also just be maybe part of the fill. Early maps or compasses don't, as you said, don't have any indication for whether or not maybe there's more of a slight logical push for you to go into that dungeon or go beat the dungeon or something. By the way, talking about Eastern as being pretty loaded, we are continuing on the extended micro dipping. We have found a fire rod in Eastern map chest. We found a sword in Eastern cannonball chest, and we are going to continue on to compass chest and probably Dark Hotkey. Would you leave after map chest, Mike?
No.
Talking about the Eastern micro dip, or is that only really a solo thing?
A micro dip is not a 80 KDB thing.
Oh, okay.
That's a cross-kids thing.
Okay. Noted.
Meanwhile, we found myths in CAC, so we're lacking a Moon Pearl for next stage of this race.
Yeah, that's very early myths potential access. We have flippers on Bottle Vendor. Very nice that we were able to scrounge up together random 50 rupee drops. Gem looks like he's a little bit poor. Plasma Kappa will be able to afford, because I guess that makes sense because he kind of took a similar route to Telethar. although there's just money, looks like, in CAC. But yeah, Artie Walsh and Gem is going to have to scrounge up a little bit of extra cash to afford those flippers. Some slight divergence. We see Gem going into the front of the castle. He's only going to be able to do Uncle and Secret Passage and the map guard and the map chest unless he gets a higher castle small key, in which case he still might not do anything else. He might go to Dark Cross on this for what it's worth. Like, he does have a sword, he has a fire rod. We do need the lamp to put Dark Cross in logic. As you mentioned before, there's no map compass logic because we're in a different branch. Similarly, we also hard require the fire rod. There is no advanced logic in this mode.
I do think we're gonna see Dark Cross here, because there's no time like now to death warp from Dark Cross. You can't do it later.
That's true.
So if you come back later, you're not gonna do Dark Cross. So you might as well do it now. Oh, a key to this dungeon.
That was a small key. Yes, that was a small key to this dungeon. Speaking of, like I said, I don't think Gem will actually use that key.
Why not?
Because
we're gonna visit the rat.
Oh no, we can't do that. But no.
Yes, we can.
I don't want to though. Aren't there stipulations in this contract, team of yours, Mike? Like, you know, I'm looking at the Usedbow team logo, and I can barely make out anything that's in the background. So surely there's not like a little key rat that's being exploded, right?
I wouldn't know.
Okay, all right, that's good.
No. We did find the hammer on the library, so we now have not the moon pearl, but everything else. We also have a lamp.
Yes, that was on Maze Race. I did catch that. So that is in Telethar's possession. It will be eventually probably on...
Oh, look what Gem is doing.
No.
Look what Gem is doing. We're continuing.
I'm so disappointed.
We're gonna go say hello to Frederick.
We're not gonna say hello. We're going to raid his house, basically. You know, knock down the door, and Gem is gonna try and get the torch. And oh my gosh, he has a pearl!
Ooh,
wait, what?
Sweet baby.
What the heck? Where are the rest of these higher castle keys? Mike?
Alright, so we need 3 keys for that
Correct.
to be in logic. We do have the lamp already. But we do have moon pearl from the Frederick. Thank you, Frederick, for your donation.
Can I leave this booth now?
Yeah,
it's so
fine.
early. You know, people talk about getting on tilt. You know, if something, let's say, like bad happens to them, Telethar, no problems at all. We're just practicing for the upcoming required Bow Lamos fight. So we're just gonna get our mini disasters of using the bow out of the way. No problem.
This is very good.
And we also have a quick hobo rush. Based on, of course, knowledge of the flippers from Plasma Kappa, Artie Walsh knows that now hobos in logic, even though he may not have them. That's the beauty of having co-op and info share. But just a compass to Eastern, so no one's gonna really miss that, at least for the time being. You see Gem also picking up some pretty strategic chests, knowing that there are 3 bombs in the well, which means that we don't actually have to go buy any, and that's even better because, now of course not only is the glove back here, but also Gem needs to afford flippers, so all the more reason to not spend the extra 50 rupees when it doesn't actually quite look like there's that much money so far in the beginning. Ice Rod Cave, by the way, has a Ice Palace small key. Okay, that is 1 Higher Castle small key that we have found. We only need 1 more in from Agina. We found 1 in Higher Castle map chest.
We found a mirror
on the turn-in for Mushroom. Okay, that is pretty dang big.
I hope Telethar and Jam doesn't skip that just because they have Mitts and Hammer and Moon Pearl.
That's true. That's true.
Now they could just go like, oh, that's flute locked now. We have too many other things to do.
True. Although I will say, at least playing solo, Gem, I know, really likes to turn the mushroom as soon as possible. There is also no such thing as fake powdering on their side. So I still think there is going to be some amount of incentive for them to do it early. But I guess we can see. We also did pick up a book. I assume that was in CAC somewhere, maybe.
Yeah, that was also
okay.
in Kakariko.
Okay.
I kind of assume that there's gonna be a Hakasu small key here. Could be wrong. Oh, there's a powder.
That's powder.
Hmm.
Yeah, I also did catch a small key on Desert Ledge, so that could also be the Higher Castle small key. There's another one here on Desert Torch. That could be a Higher Castle small key. Nope, just TR.
It's one of the 5 required TR small keys.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually quite an important key in this mode because not only are they used at the very end of the game, you need almost all of them, and you gotta keep track of where they were.
Yes, that's actually a very good point. Like some of these like late game keys, that the Meyer key on Desert Ledge is, you know, like the earlier ones, especially for example, we're looking for the Hard Castle small key, right? And because they lock the pearl, at least logically, so you're just like, okay, the fruits of that particular set of keys is very early, so you kind of can just like, once you get it, you don't have to worry about it anymore. But for these later ones, as you said, maybe it's going to be a Late Skull Woods pendant. Turtle Rock small keys are also can be pretty late game, and when you're sitting there with 2 and your partner's sitting there with 3 and you're not quite sure if you have the same 2 or 3 or maybe up to 5 different ones, you really gotta figure out, you know, where your partner needs to go and where they are. So hopefully you have good bookkeeping skills.
Absolutely. It's one of the main challenges in this mode, and why it can be tricky to like it. I find.
It's an acquired taste.
We have the back escape with a Swamp Small. Okay.
Yeah, Swamp Small and some sort of ether, I think it was.
Yes.
And most importantly, for Telethar specifically, because he was out of arrows, he got a nice refill with 10 arrows, the 3rd item. Now,
and Gem did find a sword in Skullwoods under a pot.
Okay. West Lobby Pocky paying off.
So we can do tablets once they have tablet access.
By the way, Walsh, do you see what he's doing? He has just spent the key. So he went to Dark Cross first and got something. I don't remember what it was. But now he's in the front of Escape. Now he's spending his key to get Boomerang Chest and Boomerang Guard.
This is highly unfortunate. Unless it's not.
It'll be a safe zone. or yes, or it could be something actually good. And we do need 3 Hyrule Castle small keys to put this in logic. That is a very yes, 11 arrows is not worth it, but we are going to keep the key spend. So more swamp keys. Too bad we don't have that mirror. Telethar could, in theory, go into the front of swamp with the 2 swamp keys that he has.
So this is a very interesting trajectory where Usedbow has decided not to do the mushroom and not find mirror, while Tile Roomies are gonna last locate Moonpearl basically. I'd rather last locate Moonpearl than the mirror.
Yes, I agree with you.
So I don't know. It might seem like Usedbow has an advantage right now, but he can go south real quick.
Yeah, 3 small swamp keys now on Stumpy. But I will say though that it's still pretty early in the game. They have plenty of opportunities to go and turn in the mushroom. Now that being said, there are some disincentives for them to maybe wait to turn in the mushroom. For example, as you said, maybe it's okay to wait for flute. That might be behind the mirror. They also could be maybe waiting for the mirror to go do other things like on the way to catfish. These are not going to be. That's definitely hard locked to not be possible.
Did Telethar even pick up the mushroom? It was in Link's house, right?
It was in Link's house, correct? Yes.
Yeah. Surely he picked that up.
He also did pick up a map, which, as you mentioned before, map and compass logic is not present in this particular mode. That being said, it may still be kind of useful information, maybe, to know what your crystals and pendants are.
Oh, absolutely. You want to know mostly where the pendants are, so you know when you are in GT mode.
Right.
Is that our first bottle?
That is our first bottle. Very fitting, by the way, for Telethar to pick it up with a B front. I believe it's even a good B front.
Now we only need a fairy to do the whole mountain uploading.
You are absolutely correct. We just have to get up there. With the glove, 2 gloves, not even, and the lamp. The mountain is fully logic. Of course, you do see Plasma Kappa already up there. Obviously, he has a mirror, so he can actually do more stuff on the mountain. But yes, with the boot skills that I believe Gem and Telethar both possess, we can also get over to the right side of the mountain.
Yep.
A less conventional way, other than what Plasma Kappa is doing with this mirror.
We can also do GT. That's the thing with this mod, with 0 crystal GT. So the game tends to. No, wait.
It's 7 crystals. It's 7 crystals this month. Next week, I believe, will be.
It's 7. I'm sorry. We can't go
it's all good.
GT.
we will next week for boss hunts.
Yes. It's not 0 crystal, it's 7 crystal.
Oh, 7? Oh, it's still 7? Okay. Maybe. I'll look up the modes next week for next week. Until then, we are on 80 KDB. Oh, but speaking of 80 KDB, I don't know actually how much 80 KDB RD Walsh or Plasma Kappa's played. I know certainly Plasma Kappa, he is a bit of a maverick. He will have played any and all different types of like mystery and very challenging modes, so I don't think key drop is too big of a deal for him. That being said, Telethar and Gem are the main admins of the last year's 80 KDB solo tournament, and I believe Telethar is credited with coming up with 80 KDB mode. So I believe these guys are quite familiar. And to top it all off, Gem, no admin privileges were used in the process of the tournament, but he is also the 80 KDB champion. We see the mushroom out on his Y screen. He can't use it and turn it in right now. Maybe it's a good reminder for him to do it. We've used our thief friend. We're gonna pick up the compass because it could be the Thief's Town compass, but it's not. Of course it's not.
We're gonna go into pod, I think.
Ooh.
Wait, why are we... No, we're not going into pod. We have 0 keys
go
to pod.
Right, we're going to Catfish, our friends. For any of you who have fish emotes, please feel free to use them.
I think... Is this where his sword was? I think... Wait, did...
Its sword was in Eastern.
Did Telethar miss the sword in Skullwoods?
I think maybe he hasn't been there yet. Maybe he was small key. He wasn't there first?
He was in Skull. He got a Ice Palace big key from Pinball Room. I think there might have been some miscommunication there.
Oh, okay. Because right, you said the sword was in West Lobby Potkey, so maybe he
I think so.
There first. Okay.
Maybe I was wrong.
Okay, nice silvers by the way. In on the fish. Actually, actual loot.
Actual loot. Both Roomies are on the mountain now. We have a Hera big key, and we are beating Hera.
We're gonna get the first crystal or pendant, the prize of the dungeon, on RD Walsh's side. Telethar is here for the fire rod. Maybe Telethar, what he's gonna try and do is scrounge up enough skull with small keys. I don't know if there were 2 available, but with 2 swords now, and the fire rod, Telethar can actually go all the way to the back and beat the boss.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. You pick the Skullwoods key up somewhere, and then you get the second sword faster later.
Yeah, looks like it. See, these guys have communicated and are using... they've been through this rigmarole before. But it is also, as you pointed out before, right? It does look like Roomies are going to last locate their pearl because they still haven't gotten their higher castle keys, or maybe even gone to the key rat in the back. But that being said, they have made a significant amount of progress here in Light World with that mirror.
Have you seen the third key? We've seen 2 keys.
We have not. No, at least I haven't seen 3 keys yet. Yeah, we've seen one key.
Very interesting.
Yes. All right. that is Gem's mirror, by the way, on Mushroom Turn In. So we're all comfortable now.
Good old Gem solving the logic.
I have noticed that, at least for when Gem and Talthar play co-op, each one tends to go for more, let's say, predictable checks. We saw Gem going over to, I believe, Catfish. That is one of the things that somehow, one way or another, he ends up doing out of will or force. He chooses to go there. Similarly, we do see maybe Talthar going over to Hobo more often than not. You just gotta go with your identity sometimes. Yeah, I am also very curious to know where this third Hyrule Castle key is. We didn't see it in the back. Where else in Light World can we go find this? Because the key rat has the pearl. Like none of the keys can be in Dark
Sora.
World, right? Sora, that's a good point.
I don't think we haven't even seen Waterfall Fairy, have we?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Maybe people are trying to wait out for money.
Yeah, there's no money in this seed, as is evident by 0 rupee counts on 4 screens, basically. Tragic.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Darkshana says that there was a key, a Hyrule Castle small key, presumably in Sea House, which means that has to be the 4th one.
Yeah.
But so that means that, at least logically, for them to maybe get pushed over to doing the key rats, they're gonna have to go over, I guess, to this water area, and maybe it'll just be on the ledge. That would be the easier scenario for them. Oh yeah, they're 4 total. They just need 3 in order to put the key rat in Boomerang Chest and Garden Logic.
Oh, Plasma is gonna get it now.
Okay, that looks great. Doing the backup escape. Does that mean though that... Oh no, Walsh knows where another Hyrule Castle key is. He just happened to spend it early. Okay, it looks like...
It was not the ledge.
So it's on Zora?
It has to be?
I don't think there are any other... I don't remember there being other locations available pre-Pearl. Oh, we also see Josh says that there's a flute on Ether Tablet. Very nice find, then.
Very nice.
Especially since the
that's not in logic. Well, that's not in logic pre-Moon Pearl, as far as we know. Because you need 2 swords, and one is in Skull.
True. Resty says that there are 2 Hyrule Castles, one in Digging, one in Sea House. Is that right? Really? That feels like it can't. We need all 3 of them, right? I thought for Frederick? Or, no, sorry, not all 3. We need 3 out of the 4.
Yeah, that's interesting. What worth noting is that key logic is slightly obscured in this branch because it's dynamically calculated by advanced graph logic.
It is? Okay, I see. So it is dynamic. Okay.
It should be should be a number that is 3, but we don't know.
Okay, looks like Plasma Kappa's gonna maybe do Village of Outcasts again for us. That's something that presumably Gem, maybe Talthar has already done. So I guess we can see. Okay, that is looks like so Moldorm is down for Artie Walsh and for Gem. It is a crystal. And looks like with our Artie Walsh knowing that there is a Hyrule Castle small key that he needs, so he can go to the back of escape, and he can go get his pearl. And now these guys will be on their way to Dark World. Very nice for Talthar to be able to turn the mushroom first. It is quite a pain to get to Hera and Ether tablets without the mirror. It is certainly doable, but it's probably just easier to run/swim over to the potion shop. Okay, so Plasma Kappa is here in Thieves Town. Still no sword. Not the one from Eastern, not the one from Skull Woods.
We saw that we need bombas for TR, and that's
do
in
need bombas.
Waterfall Ferry, I believe.
Yes. Right next to a Skullwood's Compass.
That's all the medallions known. Nice.
Oh, did we get a check on Meyer? Oh, no, you mean actually picking up the medallions. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to check on Meyer. Well, you and I don't need to.
True, that's true. By the way, we also found a Hera small key in Super Bunny. I did catch that. And that is something that might be Telethar's / well, Plasma Kappa and RD Walsh has already done Hera, so I don't know whose problem it's going to be. Maybe we can just also pretend that the Hera basement key doesn't exist.
I think it's fine. Hera basement is, I don't want to say underrated, but like overblown.
That is true.
Spiral Cave, on the other hand, impossible without boots.
I absolutely agree. By the way, speaking of with boots, we actually do see Plasma Kappa, unfortunately, having to peg down these one by one as opposed to being able to hammer dash, and it's not because he doesn't have the boots, it's because he doesn't have a sword!
Tragic.
Oh, it is. You finally can be able to have a mode that starts with boots, and then you can't even dash.
RD Walsh can actually beat Scodes here. Or did they drop? No, they didn't. They have 3 keys.
Oh, okay. Well, we have 3 whole keys to Skull. That's really great, actually. Okay.
And have you seen like 3 or 4 keys to TR already? There was one on Spectacle Rock and one on Old Man, and I think we found one earlier. In Pyro Castle.
Well, that's certainly a lot of Turtle keys. That eventually, when we go, and I hope this works for RD Walsh. No, sad. Yeah, he didn't drag over the statue far enough to the left, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, once we get the Cane of Samaria, we can, in fact, probably do some damage in Turtle Rock. We already have the Fire Rod, so that's Roller Room open. 2, 3
we can hover Turtle Rock.
Okay, you're not wrong. If we could hover to East Death Mountain, surely, at least through the first room of Turtle Rock is not that much further. Speaking of hover, we see that Gem is trying to use the, Kirby's red shoe in order to be able to go over there. This may not happen.
It seems like it's Telethar's problem now.
That's probably true. This is the benefit of having co-op?
Never mind. No, never mind.
Okay. This is... Oh, no. Telethar's already been here to the back of Skullwoods. We do not have the green pin turn in yet. That is probably a little bit far off. Maybe not as far off as now that we have the flute, but coupled with the mirror, maybe Telethar's is interested in trying to wait out for a couple of pod keys, big or small. Maybe Eastern looks still a little bit far. Waiting for the small key and the big key, so maybe we're okay with just going over the pod.
I think we're doing Ice Palace relatively soon. We have big key. We got. Telethar has 2 small keys.
Oh well, okay.
And Gem probably has a key. Like I understand that the tracker, the helpful trackers are not gonna keep track of every small key in this seed. So a little guessing game for us all.
That's okay. We'll find out once they eventually get to the dungeon, then we can see what the key counter says. But Resi, the absolute champ though, like he's tracking for all 4 of these guys in 80 KDB. Like you thought Key Sanity was bad, you thought co-op was bad, just kind of multiply that by like 10, and that's Resi's job. We did find, by the way, a Desert Palace small key in Hookshot Cave, which Telethar has now on second try gotten to the possible chest, which is a skull small. Okay, so I think really Gem is just missing that desert small key, which may or may not actually matter. We could go back there with a hook shot. Oh, Castle Tower key. I missed that. That's very important.
Castle Tower is one of those cursed dungeons in this mode. It's linear. You need 4 keys. You don't want to go in there more than once. Worst amount of keys is 2 keys.
That's true. That's true. Okay, that's our paradox is actually pretty filled. We got GT big here. I think we also got pod big maybe. Skull small. A lot of good things up here. Gem actually is in Meyer area. Small key to Eastern. That is certainly necessary. And a GT small, I think. By the way, you remember that Telethar picked up a Desert Palace small key? And linear dungeons? Well, Gem looks like potentially he is going to the back of Desert, and he doesn't have that small key that Telethar has in Hookshot Cave, so he's only going to be able to do a trademark Mike move and steal this tile 1 check.
That's great. You don't want to have 1 key here. You want to have 2 or 0.
By the way, that's our in logic Hyrule Castle small key.
Nice.
Yes. Okay. So now our pearl is finally put into logic. I forgot about the tiles 1 pot key. That is certainly another location available for us in Desert. Okay, it does look like you were correct, Mike, in trying to figure out what your teammate's next play is going to be. Telethar is rushing Ice Palace.
Without bombos? Hopefully magic isn't gonna be a problem. As I say that, we have used 2 fire shots.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be okay. See, so he does have sword beams, for what it's worth. So as long as he gets into holster with full health, which is maybe not an impossible ask, he at least can do some sword beam dupes. But yes, having some extra magic would be spectacular. Okay, I do see the
Did he buy magic potions?
I don't think
Maybe.
so. I was gonna say though, so with no cane, nice big magic drop. I guess are we just gonna do Ice Palace the long way? Do we need an extra key to get to Colster, or is he just leaving after?
I think you suffer.
Oh no! Oh sorry, he came with 3 keys total. Sorry, I forgot about the first door. Right, he used it, and he has 2 keys after the first door. So okay, he should have enough keys to get through.
Yeah, he has enough keys.
Right.
And we still suffer.
Right?
Yeah, but not as bad as you would on 2 keys.
Okay. Well, we're gonna see. Walsh just coming into a very similar situation to Telethar. But we actually on the bottom set though, Gem and Plasma Kappa, they're in completely different dungeons. I have no idea actually what anybody has gotten in these dungeons, if it's even really been useful. Gem, how many keys does he have to Meyer? He has none now, but I think he spent a bunch on left side maybe already. So it's
I think we only found the 1 key, right?
Okay.
So the switch key, basically. We have big key.
It just leaves the 50 rupees. So we have big key if we can find a nice Meyer small and pod left side or Bollock side. Another pod. Oh my gosh, nice interwoven logic here. If we can find the Cane of Samaria, which it looks like both would benefit both Gem and Telethar, and of course R.D. Walsh, then we can, at least for Gem, single dip Meyer. I don't know if he wants to beat this dungeon right now on Master Sword, and oh, I know he has Silvers. Never mind, he's fine.
I think we just found our 4th tier small key.
Yes.
In Ice Palace. And Meyer is a pendant. Skull is a pendant. We don't know the 3rd.
Oh, that's true. I do see a capital P on at least Gem's side. Looks like Ice Palace is a crystal.
Nice
spin.
Maybe
some extra knowledge would be good. We have the big key to ice as well.
It would be fun if TR was a pendant and you could end up in GT mode without the cane.
Yeah, that's oh yes, hilarious. By the way, that is a small key to this dungeon. Inside the ice palace big chest.
Nice.
Hilarious. Hilarious. Okay.
And wait, Telethar found Gem found another key, or save this for last.
I think he saved this for last. That is what it looks like. But we still need 2 keys to come here. Right to left side Mire. At least physically. Like I think we need logically like all of them.
Yep.
Which is just a map of swamp. So
I guess,
not very exciting.
Oh yeah, this makes sense because we have the big key. We can also not abandon Fishbone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, right. That's what Josh was saying earlier. There was a Mire key, the vanilla Mire small key. Okay, also confirmed by Ressi, our tracker,
Nice.
in the Spike Pot key, so we can go. So now we're gonna visit Fishbone, arguably one of my favorite rooms here in Mire. It's not exclusive to key drop because you do see other things like doors maybe having this room present, but it is not often visited location, and it's just 4 bombs.
And I don't think Telethar found anything else in Ice Palace.
That is also what it looks like. We found a bunch of compasses, I guess, maybe. Which, again, as you mentioned very early in the broadcast, they don't do anything for us logically. They're just kind of there to take up inventory space.
Very good.
Oh no!
Jesus. Surely we have a fairy.
We
may or may not have aggressive.
Oh my god. Okay, okay.
Definitely has a fairy with oh my gosh.
Oh no! Oh,
this is fairy
behavior.
behavior.
Does he have a fairy?
Yes.
Okay.
That would have been deranged.
I was gonna say, for some of us, it may not be that early in the day for us. Well, no, it is early in the day for us. Telethar may or may not have probably been awake for a couple hours by now. And, it's definitely something to perk you right back up. I wasn't scared. You were scared. I'm sure Telethar wasn't scared either.
I believed in the fairy.
Mm-hmm. I should have believed in the fairy more than I should have believed in Telethar. Oh, okay. Do we think that Walsh doesn't have a fairy then, right? At least I don't see a bottle to me. But he did bring bombas with him, so that it automatically makes this Coaster fight a little bit nicer, just because we have so many more fire rod shots that he is definitely using right now, and he can take advantage of the splash damage that we can see.
Very good. Still in Oko.
That's true.
Oh. Oh, that's good. We don't want to see a death on Cold Stare. This is very good.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Yeah, Cold Stare is pretty painful to get back to in any way that you can cut it. I think it's even probably a little bit more painful just because right now we don't have Samaria, and as part of the nature, right, you also have to go hunt magic somewhere. It's not maybe as quote-unquote reliable as, let's say, if you were running NMG, you can maybe try and farm out a pickle or something to try and get some magic. I didn't check what the price packs were earlier, or at least I didn't notice, but it's not necessarily guaranteed here in Rando, right? Because the price packs are randomized too.
Emmy's laughing at the idea of a pickle farmer.
Oh, amazing. I should write that one down.
Is it organic pickles?
Yes.
Or...
Well, I guess maybe it depends on where you live in the country or in the world. I'm not sure if I've actually seen organic pickles being sold, and that being said, I don't buy pickles, so I'm also not sure how much of a difference organic versus not organic makes for pickles.
I see.
Okay, Telethar is here in pod with at least one bow. Maybe... I think he's probably not going to go get the one in Catfish. I don't know if he's going to be worth it.
Are we beating the boss, Clear Mouse?
Well, that's a good question. He's your teammate. What do you think? Would you just go beat Helma?
Maybe. But probably not. I'd probably gamble on one key being in the back.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know at this stage, like, how valuable it would be to get a crystal, or, like, at least either some sort of, like, pendant, crystal knowledge, having that prize in your possession early, versus maybe the knowledge of what's in the back. Like, it's a little different in co-op versus solo, right? Because information probably is arguably more valuable than what you currently have at the earlier to maybe, like, mid stages of the game. As opposed to, ultimately, the end, by the end, you do need still to get everything, so you do have to eventually go beat the boss. But if maybe this time investment here for early scouting or information could be valuable to your teammate, could still be good. That's a decent small key though, so definitely pretty. And the temper sword, we are happy.
Nice. I think it's looking like a hookless swamp is what it is on the menu
Hookless
tonight.
swamp. Okay, this Cast Tower key here in the back.
Is that the third or second?
I believe that's the third. It could be the second though.
Oh, wait! Look at his inventory. Oh, is that a two?
Can't tell. It's too. I can't tell.
Our commentator booth restream is too pixelated.
But is it really just for practice for us? Because by the time, especially for Gem and Telethar, the screen, just a forewarning, may or may not change after the blind fight, especially with that mirror in tow. So maybe for us, it's just good practice. We get used to the rougher pixelation.
Oh, did you see that? We actually have 2 red crystals.
Ooh.
Out of the 2 crystals we have.
Well, that's pretty exciting. Ice Palace and Hera. How fortunate, how serendipitous that we can go to Pyramid Fairy right now. Speaking of, with Pyramid Fairy, you had mentioned something about potentially finding out how many Castle Tower keys we have. That is potentially on the menu when we go and visit Pyramid Fairy. We can go visit... Well, Artie Walsh has already done the front of Pyro Castle. Nice vanilla sword on the smith, by the way.
Wait, what is Telethar doing in Mire? Are we getting swamp smalls or what?
Oh.
All I remember from Mire is a pod small.
That was the big chest, maybe?
Maybe there's a CT small? Big chest was empty.
Okay.
And cutscene chest was empty. That's all I remember.
Right. I do remember that there was a swamp map in cutscene chest, which was, yes, extremely not useful right now. Okay, well, we'll see what Telethar has. He's coming in here with 1 small key, so I guess maybe it's on the Bari? Castle Tower key. Okay, looks like then that is our 3rd collective Castle Tower key, or maybe that's 4. If that's 4, then not only, of course, are the Castle Tower keys just extremely fortunate placements because they're all before GT and seemingly in reasonable spots to get to, Telethar can actually go beat Aga Tower. Okay, we got a pod key.
And we're gonna do right side desert? No.
Yeah, maybe he'll do tiles 2 or Beamos. How many desert keys does he have? 1. We'll go with 1. There was something else in here. Maybe it was a swamp key. GT key and something else. Eastern, right? I said that earlier.
We will see Spike Cave? Hera Basement?
This looks like... Oh, Hera Basement maybe. Yeah, that's true. That is something, right. I know that Walsh did Spike Cave, or maybe it was Plasma Cave, but one of those guys did it. It was I want to say it was a compass to ice, so it was not very useful. But I believe that check has not been done by Gem and Telethar. This does look like a Hera basement play, though, as you had alluded to. Gem also might be back up here a second time. Would you go to Hookshot Cave for that Desert Palace small cave? Maybe not until you have Hookshot? Okay.
More likely Spike Cave. One that's small key is known as a small key. Not even Telethar used it.
That's true. That is true. Look, but this might be the pyramid ferry into front of Hyrule Castle ? / Castle Tower. Castle Tower is certainly much more likely, especially it looks like he went out of his way to double dip, or at least make another trip into Mire for those extra Castle Tower keys.
Yep.
We're just gonna walk over.
We can also reach Zelda Cell now for that.
Do we have the Hyrule Castle big key?
Pass.
Okay, all right. maybe we won't do the front of Hyrule Castle. We did know from Walsh's side that it was just 11 arrows, the single arrow on the chest, and then a 10 arrow drop from the guard. That's right. No hook shot means that Telethar is going to be able to practice his walking and holding right. Nice half magic in Pyramid Fairy. Something tells me that that is going to be something that Gem is not going to be able to get.
Unlucky.
Okay, here in the back of Pod, maybe this didn't happen on Gem and Telethar side for Audio Walsh. It does not look like there was anything in the back though, at least in Dark Maze. Okay, Telethar has 3 keys, which means that we cannot beat this dungeon. But we can go all the way to our not friends, Circle of Pots Dude, and at least we can get all the items out of Aka Tower. So that is at least something to be said.
Do you remember that old song by ICP? Let's go all the way.
I do not. I do know the band, but I do not know the song.
Flashback to 20 years ago.
I believe isn't their mascot like what is it, like Flip the Rat, and it looks incredibly scary.
Yeah, something like that.
I remember that, and I remember being somewhat haunted by those nightmares.
How fitting.
Yes.
All right, are we gonna get logic?
That is
maybe.
A Desert Palace small key. Ooh, well, okay. Eyebrows are raised on our friend, the archer dude.
That means that there's another item in logic in desert.
Yes.
And
what is on?
Gem, 5th TR small key. But that doesn't help us right now.
That does not. We cannot. Well, sorry.
Oh my
excuse me.
goodness. It is desert.
Is it? I guess it's Beamos. Beamos or Tiles 2?
Yeah, it's. But well, it's Beamos because Tiles 2 requires 3 keys to be in logic.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, Gem is going into Ice Palace. He will have a significantly calmer fight than Telethar, at least for Cold Stare. I'm trying to remember what else he found. Was that a Swamp Small on Saha? I read Swamp Palace, but I didn't see what else was there.
Yeah, it was a Swamp Small.
Okay.
Yeah. So, do we go to desert for that pot first, or do we just go hookless swamp?
Yeah. I mean, well, and the hook shot can't just be in Swamp House. We have a lot of keys, looks like, to go into Swamp. So maybe it's not unreasonable for us to go into Swamp. I mean, it's 1 location, potentially 2 if you haven't done Tiles 1 yet, in the back of Desert, versus, I don't know how many can you get on, what do we have, 4 keys?
You can get all the way. Well, we will find out what Telethar does.
He's got his Bombos medallion. We can get into... Okay, I can't really see any of these 4 people trying to hover Turtle Rock. So we're gonna just go and find the Cane of Samaria. Plasma Kappa farming up for some potential Zora? Question mark? We're definitely getting all of the money that we can possibly get. That is just how stingy I guess the seed has kind of been for cash. Yes, but looks like though Telethar. Okay, we're gonna get 2 separate chests. This is why we have 4 people running the seed. RD Walsh is going to go into Swamp Palace with his 3 keys, no hookshot, and Telethar is going to do the back of Desert. So we'll see. And we just have a hookshot in the first chest of Swamp Palace, so we actually can, in fact, save a key with Specky. This game's got jokes. Oh, hilarious.
Oh yeah, the second Desert Small is locked by hookshot. I forgot about that. So
That's true. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow. The game even has a higher sense of humor than I initially gave it credit for. Okay, what's back here? It's the Cane of Mario. Holy, oh, that's big. Given how so that locks. Sorry, excuse me. That unlocks Turtle Rock. That unlocks Mire. At least Vitreous for the boss. Gem and Telethar, I guess, at this point have gone into Mire. Without being able to beat the boss. This looks like where Telethar is going to go and claim his next pendant.
But you gotta deduce now that hookshot is just a swamp, right?
Maybe.
If you're
okay. Yes, I am. I don't know if I can come to that conclusion because I don't.
No, I'm not saying
that fast.
Not me, maybe not you, but Gem and Telethar should come to that conclusion.
I guess we're just kind of missing. Very nice cool stir fight though, by the way, for Gem. Very within expectation. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know if they have really. I don't know how much overworld they've done. Like if they've done like Graveyard Ledge or King's Tomb. I'm gonna assume at this point they have. But yeah, we're kind of lacking some locations left for them to be able to find that hookshot in.
I'd be surprised if they hadn't done Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. But I don't recall.
I know that RD Walsh and Plasma Kappa have. That was pretty early, or at least when they were in Dark Worlds. But we're, by the way, on RD Walsh side, some rare contents. I believe so. You can do Bomb Diver Down without the Cane of Samaria, though. It could be a different setup that maybe RD Walsh is not used to. But we do find a Big Kitty Eastern Palace and a Big Kitty Thief's Holy. Okay, Swamp Palace is the place to be. Now, that being said, he doesn't have a 4th Swamp Small Key. However, if you can find yourself a vanilla Swamp Small Key in the Phelpsway Pot Key, then you have made every single correct decision in order to come here in the back.
Oh jeez, no.
He has a fairy, right? He has a fairy, right?
He does? Second fairy?
He has a second fairy. We got one from Pod. I remember that one. Although, admittedly, with Silvers, that was not a situation I was expecting to happen. What's here? Nice small key to desert, by the way.
That's also hook locked.
That is hilarious.
Hooklarious.
Oh, Mike, you should be a stand-up comedian.
No, that was terrible. You shouldn't laugh.
But I did laugh.
I'm a sit down.
Sit down comedian. That's also fine too.
Median. This is swamp.
This has to be swamp. Yes, we have nothing else in this area.
And you would only do this if you deduce that hookshot is in swamp, right? Maybe.
How many keys do we have here in Swamp Palace? I mean, is it? Do we still only have the collective like 3 keys?
No, that's 4. I believe the tracker.
Okay, good. That's right. Ressi is Mark 4. I was expecting that to be Swamp Palace. We're not quite there yet. Too premature.
Amazing job by Recitator.
Yes.
Recitador?
Recitador. You can call him Ressi for short.
I wouldn't want to do this for 4 people simultaneously. So
Mhm.
I don't know
Look,
what
Ressi
possessed
is just as good.
I don't know what possessed them to do this for us, but thank you.
Ressi is a good guy.
4 keys. So we might get left side swamp, or we mightn't.
Surely, with Telethar of all people. Here in
All eyes
Swamp,
on
in Key Drop,
Telethar.
I believe that he will go for Bomb Spooky. He, I
So-
believe, is the one who actually also made the video for like the 2 bomb consistent setup. So hopefully he's ready. Hopefully.
Hopefully. So with the Eastern Big and the Thieves Big, we can start counting down to Go mode. Or GT mode.
Or GT
That's it.
mode, correct? We don't have the Desert Big yet, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We don't know the 3rd pennant. So maybe it's a little bit too early.
Well, we don't have Ice Rod also. I mean, we can still count down the number of items. It's not going to be like 1 or 2, maybe. It could be a couple more. But that being said, though, I mean, we are missing Ice Rod and Desert Big.
2 thieves.
Is that really
1 thief small. And 1 CT small.
1 CT small. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. How could I forget about a CT small key in AD mode? Okay, here we are. Telethar is armed with 9 bombs. So his setup is going to take 2 bombs at once. That was a practice bomb. So we still have 4 more attempts left to go.
We've got to place 2 bombs 1 frame apart. And then we can use the first frame by which the first bomb starts blinking. You can throw your second bomb. And that wasn't it, apparently.
Yes. So normally you can maybe kind of sort of tell if you got it by if you throw the bomb and then you kind of hear a little explosion. That means that the bomb, when it hit the switch, it actually did kill the Stalfos or like the Bari that's kind of floating around back there. It's not always guaranteed because it's, at some point the Baris do move, so it doesn't always have to be in like the bomb ricochet. But that is, I think, something that is a potential indication. We're gonna maybe try to see if this one worked. It did not work. It looks like maybe Telethar is going to. I don't know if you'll try again.
We ran out of bombs.
Okay, no problem. That's gonna be Jum's problem now.
Because you need 2 bombs to try, and then you need a 3rd bomb to hit the switch later.
Right. Good point. Good point. I forgot about the last step of the process, which is hitting the bomb, hitting the switch, the other switch.
We've all been there, right?
Okay, it does look like Gem is heading over to Swamp Palace. By the way, that is the last Desert Palace small key in the back of Thieves Town in the hallway pot key.
That is nice.
That is also hilarious.
I
cannot imagine. Yeah.
There's 1 more somewhere, right?
Hookshot Cave. 1 free one somewhere. Desert Palace small key on Vitreous, and the Desert Palace small key here in Harmless in hallway pot key.
Oh, you said Desert Palace small. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The fact that Gem and Telethar are here in Swamp kind of sorted together means that I think they're just collectively running out of stuff to do. Or maybe the hookshot is just like too important at this point for them. I imagine that one of them is gonna have to go up to Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod, with of course armed with bombos and the cannon, etc, etc. Maybe the Ice Rod will just be in Turtle Rock in its summer home.
I think now we just beat Eastern and Pod and Thieves Town and Fire, and hopefully we have TR by then. Swamp is our last pennant, by the way.
Ooh, okay. So with the exception of the Castle Tower key, that means that that GT potentially could be empty. Yeah. I mean, the Castle Tower key can always be in GT. There's nothing precluding it from being there. We're just helping some copium that it won't be in GT, because why would you want to search GT for one item when you can maybe find it somewhere else? Speaking of somewhere else, though, like, so Plasma Kappa is in Thieves Town, and we only have 2 small keys, so we cannot get we can't get the Thieves Town big chest. RD Walsh is in Eastern, and with only 1 small key, and we can't get the Eastern Palace big key chest. I mean, is this like okay? I mean, Telethar is in Thieves Town right now on 2 keys.
Yeah, big key chest doesn't have progression. That's fine. It never do. Unless it has the CT small, then it does.
This mode is scary when you have to go look for that second to last or last Castle Tower key. I guess that's why you have a buddy to hopefully help you in your search. Or it can just be on Armos. Easy, no problem. So we're just so now GT is completely empty. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We're Ice Rod from Go. Ice Rod and Desert Palace big key. Nice.
And we know that, and you mentioned before, we know all our pendants, so that means that the Desert Palace big key has to be outside of GT, so we don't even have to go search. We just need our 2 keys to climb for the required Aga's defeat. Okay, so Gem will find out about the Eastern Palace, Armos, Castle Tower key. So I guess it'll between 2 teams. The Castle Tower venture, or maybe Telethar will have an extra dip into Castle Tower, because I think everybody else is gonna go in there with all 4 Castle Tower keys.
This could also mean, because Swamp is pennant, and left side Swamp is 6 key locked as well. It could be that a Swamp small or 2 is in GT.
Right.
So we don't even care about left side Swamp at this point.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Okay. We were not gonna have to. Well, I guess Gem is maybe off the hook then to being able to do Bomb Spooky. Probably based on logic, as you have deduced, RD Walsh and Plasma Kappa now don't have to worry about potentially their being left them leaving left side Swamp behind. Okay. Ressi, good luck. If you thought this mode was intense, tracking 4 people, welcome to hard mode. Harder mode, heroic mode, whatever you want to do. I hope you were paying attention to was on Plasma Kappa's side when we eventually got something after blind.
It was just money.
It was just money. Is there anything else though in this area that Telethar might get? You can definitely tell by how much health Telethar has by the white pixels in the upper right. He has hookshot out. You can kind of see that. Oh no, he doesn't have the hookshot anymore. He has a mirror.
That's a mirror.
That's a mirror. Makes a lot of sense also because he's going to Graveyard Ledge. I really wish I had run the blind pun when Plasma Kappa was killing blind. But it's okay, because RD Walsh will have my back, and he will do the blind without Mosaic, and I will be able to read the pun out loud.
And Gem has now finished Eastern, so they know about the 4th CT small.
Okay. All right, we got enough of our blind treat. With the Mosaic does deactivate after you die, after you flute. or you go into another one of those like pixelated screens, like like Lost Woods, or Skull Woods, Pedestal, Zora, like those type of areas. Maybe not Lost Woods since you don't have the pixelation, just Pedestal. But yeah.
Also, if you mirror in a dungeon.
Oh, that's true. That's true. If you take a warp tile in the dungeon, if you mirror, if you accidentally slash a Bari, the electrocution animation will reset the mosaic animation. So try not to do that.
Very sensitive glitch.
Mm-hmm.
RD Walsh is in TR now. First person in TR.
Ooh, okay, 5 small keys. Pretty exciting. They're a nice small key. He did quick swap over back to the cane. And I did catch that he does have the fairy, so we are pretty safe on RD Walsh's side. We don't have to worry.
Oh. Is that the 6th TR small key?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that right? Is that actually our collective 6th? Because I don't know if RD Walsh and Plasma Kappa did that chest. Okay, what does Pogi have? A pod key. Yeah, we're gonna be able to get pretty far. And right now it looks like we're searching for Desert Palace, Big Key, and Ice Rod! Oh no! Okay, no. We literally said this 30 seconds ago. He's got a fairy. Maybe not the place that you want to use the fairy, but it's better than nothing.
Any place to use a fairy is a good place.
Sure. By the way, I didn't catch this earlier. Very nice Aga Hall of Fame on gem set. I guess this is the first Aga we've seen, correct? On everybody's street? Okay. Very respectable distance.
Clearly in the lead on the Aga screen.
Yes.
Forward.
Okay, Plasma Kappa just covering some bases here. He did spend a good amount of investment to go and farm up Zora money, so good to see that at least he followed through on his purchase. Unfortunate spin for RD Walsh that he couldn't get all of the pokey before being bunny beamed. We found a lot of shields that we were unfortunately had to go pick up.
Expertly avoided opening door.
Mm-hmm. Very, very good. This is why we're all in the Invitational League. Certainly nothing like that's happened before.
It can happen to anyone.
Yes, unfortunately, that is true. Okay, gem is finished. Aga. You may think that the Aga fight may be a little bit faster than what you might expect. This is actually the standard now for ADKDB, at least for this particular mode setting. Telethar and Gem has decided that the blue balls, if you have to sit through Aga, since it's all dungeons, is not interesting whatsoever. So they turned the setting off. And now it's always going to be 0 blue balls. When do you think... Well, okay. Based on what Gem and Telethar are doing right now, are they, I guess, going up to Turtle Rock together? Collectively?
No. Because Gem hasn't finished off Meyer.
Meyer is a pendant. Which made me wonder, like, unless there was something on Vitreous, or I guess it was a Desert Small Key. Like, you can always do Vitreous after Ganon because you don't need the pendant to open GT, and then once you, like, in order to get back to the pyramid, you could just save and quit anywhere in the Dark World after Aga. So I was just wondering in this case if it was worth Gem's time to go beat Meyer now, or kind of join Telethar in Turtle Rock. And potentially, well, I guess we know the GT is empty, so maybe it doesn't matter.
Maybe. Maybe you're right. Maybe we just go for TR together.
It is the big key to Swamp Palace on Laser Bridge. I'm not quite sure if we want to see that.
But you also might wanna. Yeah,
Also
we still
swamp.
have. So we found the two small keys in TR and the big key.
And the Thief Sound small key.
Suddenly logic.
Mm-hmm,
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true, because it is a pendant. Even though the swamp is a pendant, we found all of the swamp keys outside of GT. So that left side play is now, again valid, because we still need the Desert Palace big key, and we still need an ice rod that we did not find on Turtle Rock. We found an Eastern Palace small key. Right.
Right side
they know where all 4 desert small keys are.
Oh yeah, we found them. That's right.
Okay. What do you think, Mike? Between Gem and Telethar's Mosaic, which one do you think is better?
So this one is a little dark, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like mine bright.
I wonder what the blind pun is.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. We'll have to find out when eventually Artie Walsh gets there.
It would take some kind of genius to figure out.
Need glasses. Right, and yeah, Josh also pointed out that we found the remaining of our 2 small keys that we did not want to see, which is the, well, it was the Thief Sound small key on Laser Bridge, and we found the Eastern Palace small key on not Laser Bridge. Eastern Palace small keys on Laser Bridge, sorry, on Right Side Desert, and Thief Sound small keys on Laser Bridge. So these are locations that I guess maybe for Walsh is okay, because we haven't been Thief Town yet, but Eastern though, yeah. Oh no, maybe it's okay for Plasma Kappa, because he hasn't been over to Eastern yet. The second time?
Maybe.
We also have the last Turtle Rock small key. I have no idea what Gem has out in his inventory. I assume it's a flute. The fact that he is standing around, but it was just Bishop. Oh. Did you know, by the way, that walking towards the bird does not save time? Why do people not learn this lesson? Just stand still, okay? A Wayne 123 runner literally just stands still and waits for the bird for him every time. You can still get a 123. It's okay.
Look. We are speedrunners. Standing still is the worst thing imaginable.
That's true. Okay, you're not wrong.
I'd rather waste time than stand still.
Okay, Gem is here on 2 keys. I guess we're gonna go get our Samaria now. The last Desert Palace small key is... Yeah, unfortunately, this is gonna have to be a double dip. If Gem had hovered Hookshot Cave the first time and gotten his Desert Palace small key from Hookshot Cave, then it would have been... like, he can... Well, I guess he still can't beat the boss because we don't have the big key, but it would have been slightly nicer to go a little bit farther, but we can't. So.
There's a skull big key on left side swamp. I missed the first chest.
That is a... These locations, by the way, makes you glad that you're watching the seed and not playing, because you've already made these decisions about going into these locations. Granted, Skullwood's big chest is always going to be something that is probably going to be late game for you to go check anyway, because it's so early in the game. But it's like, oh, I was just at Eastern, I was just at Beeftown, I was just at Skullwoods, I was just at their Turtle Rock. Meyer Small the first chest, thank you, Olive.
What was in... Wait, so... It has to be Skull Big Chest.
And then I guess like Ice Rod is on Lamos then? Is that what we're saying?
I don't know what I'm saying.
It could be a shovel. Have we checked Magic Bag? We must have, right? When they did Smith Chain? I assume they did.
I feel certain someone did.
Okay.
I don't think Telethar even picked up powder. What was in the Swamp Big Chest?
It was just 3 bombs. Yes, I
Right,
caught that on Walsh's side.
So it's just Skullwood's big key.
And then we have Eastern. We have Eastern big key chest, which Plasma Kappa. I guess actually this is pretty fortunate then for how Walsh and Plasma Kappa ended up splitting up their dungeons. Is he's gonna be able to check Eastern Power's big key chest without having to beat Narmos the first time. So if there is something here, Gem and Telethar will need to. Oh no, maybe. No, yeah, they'll have to go back for Eastern. But it looks like he can go the long way. The MSS clip, maybe Plasma Kappa either like doesn't know about or is not willing to do this in a race setting. But it's okay because we have the key. We've already visited Darkspore Pocky. We can take a shortcut over to the left side. Small shortcut.
Ooh. Well, tell if I make it for Jam 2-way.
Oh no. Plasma Kappa, no. Why must you freeze right here on this?
Oh no.
Oh no, I just wanted to see this one chest.
Unlucky.
We are so unlucky. Okay, I have no idea what that was.
This is so common though in TR. You're here together at the same time. And just ping-ponging who is in the lead, trying to save seconds.
I heard it was the most important to beat your teammate in a co-op setting. Is that correct, Mike?
Yeah, you can't lose to yourself. Alright, so Kappa may or may not have found progression in Eastern.
Okay, alright, I went back to his VOD. It was a pod small key, so it is not the ice rod nor the desert palace big key.
So we're back to Skullwood's big chests.
Correct.
Wait, what happened? Oh, Gem, what?
I think he didn't. I think neither of them checked roller room. That's my guess. They just decided to keep going.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. He was ahead, and now we're safe coming lava chests. I get it.
Yes, I understand that now. Yeah, and this is also something that something you can kind of do in co-op modes is to see if the Desert Palace big key and the ice rod are just literally on your path because they already have everything else. Then they don't need to. Checking roller room is a waste of time. Checking lava chests is a waste of time. So.
Lava chest would be huge.
It is just 3 bombs.
Alright.
And he's just waiting. Yeah. Looks like John was just waiting. If Ice Rod was there, that he probably just continue onwards. But it wasn't. So
and now we just go to Swamp together, or what's happening?
I think that somebody has to go check Eastern, right? Or Thieves? It is Thieves Sound big chest for Ice Rod? Oh my god. That Thieves Sound small key was on Laser Bridge, Mike.
That is stinky.
That is so terrible for this item placement. Man, the game, it just gives you a false sense of security.
This is good though that Telethar does Aga instead of. I like this. This misconception that you should always split up, but when you like one item from go, and one person can just clear things that you need to clear anyway, this is better. Because best case scenario now, you only do one extra check for one player instead of both committing to 2 different places and guarantee that you're gonna lose time.
This is so smart. This is why there's a strategy in co-op. Yeah, I would have just blindly sent one person to one place and the other person to the other place and then just see what happens. But yes, this actually is very smart. Because this is something that Telethar has to go do. And with all these swamp small keys, by all these I mean just one extra one. That's all you need for left side. Gem should be pretty quick in this. Yeah, so it looks like then we okay. Well, I was just gonna check Skullwood's big chest, which is fine. If the Desert Palace big key is here, we could just go over to Desert now and then go back up to Turtle Rock again to go beat it, and then we don't have to climb again. It is just money.
So that means Desert Big is on Trinex?
Must be on Trinex. Yeah, it can't be back there. Sorry, back there. I mean, it can't be the backup desert.
Imagine
actually, can it?
Gigabrain in Thieves Town, and like I'm gonna open Big Chest and not beat the dungeon.
Oh my gosh, dude! No way! No way! Wait, did we check tiles too? I know we went as far as BMOs to go get.
Yeah, we've done all we can in Desert.
Okay.
Both teams have.
Okay, so I think at this point then, Tile Roomies are waiting for a Desert Palace Big Key, which I'm gonna assume the Plasma Cap is gonna get first. Okay, sorry, excuse me. Plasma Kappa may not get there first. At least the knowledge of them being able to get the Desert Palace Big Key, I believe, is first. Since Artie Walsh is the one with the Ice Rod, but he is not currently in Turtle Rock. He is currently in Mire. So we won't get to see what's on Trinex until at least Artie Walsh gets up there. But yeah, Plasma Kappa right now is gonna go get his Thieves Town Small Key from a laser bridge, so he can get the Ice Rod out of Thieves Town Big Chest. Oh, what a misleading seed. The Castle Tower keys were all so nice, relatively speaking. And you're just like, okay, well surely nothing can beat GT. How bad can this seed be? And then the seed decides to say, hold my beer. Alternatively, Mike, what do Swedish people drink? What is their beverage of choice?
Oh, what's it called? Oh god. The brew that the Vikings drank?
Grog?
Grog?
I don't know. I don't know. What did they drink? Mead.
Mead, yes.
Mead, yes. Mr. Angry Pants with the great knowledge. Thank you.
Hold my mead.
What is that, Will?
Wait, we have Harmless Hellway too?
Wait, we have Harmless Hellway? Where did we go? Oh, Telethar is here. You're right. We apparently did not check this.
Alright. Alright, Telethar now is gonna go for Big Key Chest in Easton.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna get checked regardless of if Gem gets to Big Chest first, since we still 2 items can go.
Right, yeah. We're missing Ice Rod, and we're missing Desert Palace Big Key. And for all we know, even if we find the Ice Rod, right? Or sorry, for all they know, that Eastern Palace Big Key can still have Desert Palace Big Key. So... However, we collectively, as a community watching this race, know that the Eastern Palace Big Key is just a pod small key, presumably for logic, and also so we can put the I don't remember what was in. Oh yeah, that the Turtle Rock small key into logic. We are gonna get a special treat though from Telethar, potentially showing us the MSS clip where we can use the hook shot and I guess kind of bombing ourselves over. Nice. Very well done on Telethar's side. Nice shortcut to be able to get over here.
Save several seconds. Maybe it's like 10?
Actually, it's quite a lot. Nice. Yeah, because like to loop around from Eastern, like to get the Big Key chest, it's something like a minute. And to be able to kind of clip over, it only probably should take like, I don't know, 20 seconds maybe? But I think it's actually a good amount. It is a minute. No. To loop all the way around?
No, you're not doing the pot this time.
Oh, okay, that's true. That's true. Okay, so you could save yourself like 10 seconds. So it's probably like 50. But
regardless,
okay, that's
it has to be Desert Big on our I'm gonna say name every boss on Trinex.
Mike, right? Do you need glasses? Out of curiosity,
I need mead. Is what I need.
Do you have mead at home? Do you have the modern mead?
the bee's mead. There's honey mead these days that is pretty nice. I don't know if you tried.
I have not. But mead always makes me think that it is sweeter. I don't actually know how it tastes, but I just kind of assume anything alcoholic has a bitter taste, and then I'm automatically kind of put off by it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna convince you otherwise.
I think I just don't like bitter things to drink, and whenever people, give me like or offer me mixed drinks, I always think, man, this would taste a lot better if it didn't have this bitter aftertaste. So maybe alcohol is just not really for me.
Yeah, that's fair. And we can assess our dungeon count situation here. Telethar is missing. Telethar and Gem are missing 6 dungeons. Well, yes, 6 dungeons. Artie Walsh and Plasma are missing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It does seem like they are quite a bit behind.
Well, let's see.
We're in the same state of Go mode items, but completed dungeon-wise, we're not in the same state.
I'm wondering how much of this, the state though. So I certainly do not deny your counting, because I trust my co-commentator to always do math for me. It is still, I don't know, I hadn't kept track of how many people have gone into Turtle Rock to go get their Thief's Town Small Key, to go get their Ice Rod from Thief's Town Big Chest, to go back to Turtle Rock, to go beat it, so then we can go get our Desert Pals Vicky from Vitreous, to go beat Desert, to go back up the mountain. It's a lot.
No, I don't keep. I just count uncleared dungeons on the tracker as the rough estimates.
Very fair.
It always works out pretty well.
Yeah, Plasma Kappa saving some time potentially. I assumed he was able to save his portal because we're already on Laser Bridge, and this is this is a glitchless mode. So everything he did was completely legal.
Dying should be a glitch. You die, you're out.
Yes. Oh, Telethar might have been DQ'd at this point for, I don't know, 3 or 4 times by now.
Telethar appeared to be frozen in time.
Well, this just gives Gem an opportunity for him to catch up to Telethar. Never mind, he decided to come back and continue onwards. But it does look like Gem and Telethar in the same dungeon at about relatively the same time. Gem slowing a little bit down, because I guess we want to make sure the boss of this dungeon is in fact Trinex, just so he can give Telethar the heads up, so he knows what to expect. But I assume at this point then, because everything is done on their side, that they just don't have anything else to do / split up for, and this has to be the last of their progression.
Well, obviously it's gonna be the shovel, right?
Good point. Yes.
For maximum
true. Yeah.
hilarity.
I think there's nothing else, right, that can lead into something else. Okay.
I think I was trying.
Yeah.
Well, we scattered Bumper Ledge already, so you can't.
True.
Yes. So yeah, shovel is the only thing we can hope for. That is funny.
I did notice that Gem, contrary to Telethar, does not have any type of light source. It's okay, he's used to this. Arguably, maybe with a side of memeing, Gem is actually faster without the lamp. His dark rooms are just that good.
Well, lamp on race game is a slow lamp, isn't it?
It is. No, it definitely is. And I think given how early the fire rod was, unless you probably think that the lamp is good for, let's say, like magic management, or in this case, especially if you do like low percent room in dark rooms, the lamp is probably not going to be too much worth it for you just because you already have the fire rod. Certainly for Gem, especially if he's done so much spoiler, and sometimes the lamp is just Playing against Airy, you can't afford it. Okay, as you accurately surmised, the Desert Palace Big Key is on Trinex.
Oh my goodness, I'm a freaking genius.
Well, you are. That is an objectively true statement. This is just one piece of evidence. We can prove by example.
Mm-hmm. I can deduce the future.
Based on a limited set of solution space.
Usedbow is in go mode.
Yes, officially. I believe Artie Walsh and Tao Roomies will also be in go mode after Artie Walsh finishes Trinex. But it does look like the dungeon completion rate, though, for like Plasma Kappa, once he finishes Turtle Rock, he will be able to go into GT and then also get Castle Tower through. But Artie Walsh, I think, looks like he'll still have Meyer and did he do Pod?
And Pod? Maybe one of them has been completed. Already. I'm not sure.
Okay, Mike. You are now in voice call with your teammate on the, as you said, Usedbow team. If you are the first one to go into the landmost fight, will you try and help your partner out by telling him the landmost pattern?
Oh, no. That's impossible to remember. I would say I crashed through the knots. Oh, we're switching to the bow.
Of course we are.
The correct bow.
Yes, it is the correct bow. We may have cheated a little on Telethar's side, it's okay. But it is a bow fight. We might be cheating a little bit more.
Can't believe they're giving up all this time for free.
It's okay. Well, if Gem slashes, it'll be even more cheating.
Ooh, that's sick. Let's go, Gem.
Very nice, very nice.
Use the bow better. Now, it doesn't have enough arrows for GT climb.
I'm sure he will be fine. It is only he has 7 arrows. He's got 7 arrows. It should be fine.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so, yeah, Plasma is climbing GT, and RD is going for Meyer.
Very interesting mimics to strat on Plasma Kappa side. I'm not really sure if I've ever seen like the 1-2-1-2, but it was kind of cute.
And worth noting is that Plasma actually need to also do Aga 1.
Right. That's true. They did not do Aga 1. Telethar was, I think, the first one to kind of rush into Castle Tower just to, I don't know if it was like a hedge your bets type of thing, but we've had so many Castle Tower keys. If something was in the first, well, anything Castle Tower at that point could have helped them in progression, then it would have given Usedbow a good amount of leeway for progression. But turns out in this case it was just a Desert Palace small key, which may or may not have propelled them at least to the back of Desert. Like that could have at least been something, but yes, it was not necessary in order to go get that small key before beating Trinex.
Now, do you scout the torch in case it has the bugnet?
Do we need a bugnet? is that an important item?
Some people think that.
Okay. You're not wrong. I think if we were gonna go over to scout the torch, then we should at least go over to Hope Room and get those chests, and then open the middle door.
The forbidden door is the best door.
It's especially in key drop, where you basically can't afford to open that door, like under any circumstances. But it does look like we are not gonna go anywhere in the basement other than the lobby. But, so yeah, Gem and Telethar at this point are just racing amongst each other. Telethar does have a good, like, 3-room lead, which is not comfortable if you are trying to race your teammates.
A teammate that has gold sword.
It's true. But I don't think either of them will be able to. Yes, Mike.
Yeah, putting you on the spot.
Okay.
Who's the better executioner of these two? You have played so many spoiler seats, so you should know. I want an honest answer.
That is a great question. I think that Gem has more experience with spoiler. Now that being said, I don't know the variability between Gem and Telethar. On average.
Oh yes, go on.
I was gonna say, on average, I think Gem probably has more spoiler success. But that being said, it could be like because spoiler is so variable. One hit, one thing that goes wrong means that the run is done, and it's very difficult to be able to catch up. See, Gem has exactly enough number of arrows in order to go through GT.
No. Gem didn't pick up the arrows.
He will get the 5 arrow pot in Moldorm room or pre-Moldorm room.
There's an arrow pot in the pre-Moldorm room?
Yeah. There's like a heart piece, like some big magic, or not heart piece, heart container, small heart. And a bomb.
I'm learning things.
Well, I would be surprised if Gem did not pick up arrows, considering that would kind of defeat the whole purpose of going over to Catfish in order to go get silvers. I don't think. Well, no, Telethar will also pick them up because he is only on 3 arrows. But they should be coming up, like here in this upper right. That pot right there.
I never thought about
Really, Mike? Really?
No!
Really? Oh, wow.
Huh. Oh, that's not a hover.
It is not hover, but this is gonna give Gem the potential to catch up. See, it's even something like this, right? Where it's you think that you can get it through a hover, and then you don't succeed. Even though, so Telethar, I think execution-wise, has been very, very strong this game. He was the one who got through Hookshot Cave on hovering. For Telethar, actually, he was the runner-up. In terms of actually talking about spoiler performance, he was the runner-up of 2024 SGL Online for open spoiler. So his spoiler execution is in fact quite strong. Telethar
that
also
was a crazy blue potion refill mid-door.
I was gonna say yes.
Like, Jesus.
You might actually think that Telethar was playing glitch modes. It is not true.
That was the craziest play I've seen all seed.
Normally you would drink these potions at the Triforce room. But either this is a Triforce room that we don't know about, or Telethar decided that he no longer has fairies, so we need to actually stay alive before Ganon.
But I was so close to an accidental bottle glitch. Right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was worried that he was actually playing glitch modes, but... speaking of not dying, does he have a fairy? Gem has a fairy, right?
Nobody knows.
Okay, that's fine. His tracker's mosaicked. We understand. See, Gem has a faster Ganon fight because he has Gold Sword. Not actually, but that's just how we mean.
I think that's how that works.
Also using a lower than expected number of arrows on Ganon. Technically, yes, you do need 4. I've often seen a 5th arrow used for funsies. And just like that, though, Gem crossing the finish line before his teammate and claiming first place in this race. GG. With Telethar finishing seconds behind. Good example, by the way, of why hovering always saves time. All right. This looks like this might be the end, or at least the race finish for RD Walsh. I'm assuming he's not actually frozen because you can kind of see like the sparklies. But maybe Plasma Cap at this point is going to finish up Ganon. Looks like though we are joined by today's victors, Gem and Telethar. GG's guys.
GG. Thank you.
How did you like the logic for the seed and the hard required turtle rock dip?
Yeah, that's fun. Like would have been fine. I was like planning to go to TR for a long time, but then I beat Aga1 and was like, okay, I really want to check that. Then I realized I could do it in Mosaic, so I just went to Thieves before Lumberjacks and before TR, which honestly was just kind of stupid.
Well, Rusty thanks you for doing Mosaic. By the way, yes, I'll go ahead.
I played really poorly, but it's fine.
Did you play poorly? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you were ahead of Gem going into TT, and then something happened on Moldorm, which is unfortunate, and then you were behind.
Yeah, but I also needed to use my fairy on like 2 bosses for no reason, and walked past Bonk Rocks twice, and there's a couple other things that were just not reasonable. But none of them were like extraordinary punishing mistakes, but fine.
We're also joined by the Tile Roomies. Welcome in, RD Walsh and Plasma Kappa.
GG's guys.
GG's.
Yeah, thank you. GG's Usedbow.
GG's.
I appreciate you guys letting us read the blind pun. That was very kind of you to be able to be blind and have us read.
Yes. I think I used bow more than used bow on the top of Paradox.
But you did survive.
Yes.
And that is all that matters. Unlike Telethar, who used so many fairies.
Yeah, look. They were there to be used, I guess, today.
Oh yeah.
Including that
You
potion.
were playing crazy,
was
aggressive at the Cold Care fights. You were so crazy, I was convinced there was a fairy that you were gonna use intentionally.
Yeah.
And you did.
Yeah.
So how do you like the mode? Both teams. I guess we already know Telethar and James stance, but Walsh and Kappa. Is this a top tier mode or mid or never again?
Sure is a mode, especially in co-op where the amount of relevant items increases dramatically. There were some forgotten things on our side.
Yeah, there was some miscommunication with Hype Cave because it's like one of those things where like someone says like Hype Cave has 4 items and then that just like didn't even like echo in my mind. Like I was just like, hey, I don't have the Meyer Big. Where was that? And we had to like rack our brains. So yeah, like there's just a lot of things. I do like this as a co-op mode though. Like I tried to play like a couple seeds like solo, just get the feel of what was happening, and I got really bored because it's a whole lot of keys to find. But like splitting the pain or whatever you want to call it, like that really kind of like alleviates some of the like tedium. So yeah, I kind of like it as a co-op mode more than a solo mode for sure.
Oh, nice. I don't actually. I certainly heard some other reviews like in the opposite direction. They're like it's a good solo mode, but it's not a good co-op mode. But I mean, it all depends on I guess like what your preferences are. Because sometimes like the keeping track of things as a team can be more difficult, but also more interesting. As a than by yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And like open keys just like is my like preferred keys. Like I'm definitely a cross keys girly for sure. But yeah, like it's a fine mode. I wouldn't like play it again like recreationally, but I'd do it again in a tournament. Like I'd be okay if it were in like Maine or something.
Yeah, I think that we've talked about it, and we think it was better with Shop Sanity for co-op specifically because it sort of alleviates some of the issues you might run into with like a mid-start world entry, where you're just like, well, we're both in VU,
Yeah.
and like now what? Like, so like it it gives you there's a bunch of shops up north. There's some other places you can go. So that the Shop Sanity I think did help for co-op. I also don't necessarily think this mode in co-op needed to be AD.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's a lot of keys you have to find for sure.
But yeah, I mean the main complaint that people have about it is a lot of keys, and like I agree it's harder, but I also don't think that's bad. Like it definitely has a learning curve, but that doesn't seem to be inherently a bad thing.
Yeah, and that could be some of my like resistance to it. Is just that like I don't like learning things, you know. Like so, yeah.
Also,
Like I've been playing this game 7 years. Learning is hard.
Also, there's like one person I can think of that plays co-op real, often. It's Teletar. So communicating effectively is also a good skill.
Yeah, that's something I need to work on, and not just here, but yeah, it's fine.
Gem carried, but
You carried.
It carried by finding the mirror for you guys.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was one thing that we were that was maybe like a pretty major point of divergence. So for some reason, you two rushed Frederick, the key rat, inexplicably, and I don't know why. And somehow he dropped the pearl, and then Mike and I were like, where the heck are the other Hero Castle small keys? Because we only knew one of them at the time, which was a map chest. And then, but RD Walsh and Plasma Kappa rushed the mushroom turn in, and then they got mirror, and then you guys were in Dark World like, I don't know, 15 minutes before they ended up getting that pearl. But I mean, they were still doing everything. Like they were still making a ton of progress in Light World, but like that was a huge point of divergence.
Yeah, we're still uncertain where those 2 keys were that were required. One was in
Tiles 1.
And oh yeah, that's right.
Maybe one on the mountain somewhere. Oh no.
No. It was it was map chest in Hyrule Castle, tiles 1 in Desert and Agina, and then the 4th one was Sea House.
Yeah, I forgot back of Desert and 4th check in CT a few places. I don't think I would have gone back to Frederick before I went up the mountain anyway. So
yeah, we got Moon Pearl real early. We still had
I did Eastern, and then I went to Hyrule Castle and got it right away. Then I could go into Dark World my first trip to CAC.
Oh, nice.
We delayed the mirror a little, like just a little bit, which was slightly unfortunate, but fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this was a really fun match. Very, I think, interesting, and of course, always a pleasure to be able to watch you guys race. Very, very thankful. So I think game 2 is tomorrow, right? Same time, 2 p.m. Who is playing for whom?
Jamie sure will sub in for Walsh. I'll play again.
Okay, sounds good.
It'll be me and Gem.
Correct.
For the match.
And I'll sub in for Mike.
On the mic, no problem.
Yes.
No mic, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you got to look at your teammates. Maybe I don't know if this warranted any team meetings, Mike, that you noticed.
There's no team meetings.
We just
well,
play video game for fun.
I mean, this was
Well,
a ton of fun.
We only play recreationally, unlike Artie Walsh, who does this professionally.
Oh yeah, it's a paid deal. I got sponsors. Yeah, sorry to all the sponsors, let you guys down. DuPont, Chex Mix, whatever else I've got going on. There's so many I can't name them. Yeah, it's all esports here. ALG forever.
True. Sponsored by Crosskeys 2027.
Doodle flute.
All right,
Can
that's enough.
The joke was I was just going to call literally any other game Crosskeys 2027.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, co-op Frosties is coming up in a couple weeks, so definitely looking forward to that. I think that will also be a very fun mode. Maybe, I don't know if it's good. I don't know if you guys think it's easier or harder than co-op ADKDB, because you're kind of instead of keys, you're trying to keep out use entrances now. So
It's harder because you don't have boots.
shouldn't that make it easier?
Sure.
Because everything's slower. You don't have to like be dashing around.
But it eats away at you.
So it's like mental damage. Okay, I gotcha.
Immense mental damage.
What will be interesting is next week with Boss Hunt, which is a crazy mode that is, I predict, is going to be great to be the watcher of on the restreams.
Yeah, great to be the teammate that doesn't play it.
What about playing it? Are you gonna? That could be great, Mike.
I suffer from Stockholm syndrome, and I did all asyncs.
I have
didn't
not
answer
touched the
question
mode.
at all.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
But it's going to be a great watch.
I look forward to it. That will be sometime next week. Yes.
Yes. There's another game going on now on SpeedGaming 2. It's Slicky Priest versus Fendrana Drifters. They're halfway through, but if you're tired of us talking, you should pop over there.
Yeah, and then
That's pretty exciting.
and then I think at 5 p.m. on SpeedGaming 2, that channel as well, it'll be Beer and Jamo versus Jesse and Kasten on AKDB. So that should also be a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks guys. It was a blast, and see you tomorrow, 22 hours from now, and good luck in game 2.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Wow. Thanks, Ressi.
Yeah, GG's guys. Thanks for the commentary.
In the tracking.
Yes.
And the
thank
tracking.
you, Ressi.
Yeah,
Ressi did
solo
everything.
tracking this madman.
4%, yes. It was Ressi definitely had the hardest job out of all of us. I mean, no. With all respect to you guys actually playing the mode, Ressi needs to keep track of everything by himself.
Yeah. One tracker for ADKDB trackers. That is absolutely insane. Good job.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Thank you so much, Mike. I'm glad that we were able to make this happen.
No, thank you. Good luck next time.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be watching you play and looking forward to your Usedbow performance. Yes. All right. Well then, yeah. Have a good rest of your evening / afternoon or morning, wherever you may be. And yeah, as Mike said, we can all go over to SpeedGaming 2 and watch the ongoing race between Zelga Shady and Jet versus Megawatt. Yeah. See you all then.